This is the plaintiff, Elijah Bullock. He says he brought his disposable camera into the defendant's express photo developing store. And when he went to retrieve his pictures, he was told they didn't have them. The defendant insists he never dropped off a camera, which is a total lie. And he needs to be compensated because the pictures were of his deceased grandmother who passed away 15 years ago. He's suing for $2,500 for pain and suffering and missed work. This is the defendant, Frank. He says the plaintiff's mistaken because he never dropped off any photos to be developed at his shop. That guy's receipt doesn't have his store's stamp on it. He's making this whole thing up in a lame attempt to con him out of money, and there's no way he's paying him a dime. He's accused of losing it. The defendant has filed a countersuit for $2,500 for aggravation.
All parties, please use your right hand.
Welcome back to the People's Court. Next case in the docket, the plaintiff brought his camera to the defendant's developing store, and the camera and the photos disappeared along with cherished photos of the plaintiff's grandma. But the defendant says the plaintiff never dropped off a camera. It's the case of grandma's gone.
Thank you, Douglas. Elijah Bullock, you are suing, you want to be referred to just as Frank?
Yes.
Frank's photo shop, you're the owner?
Yes.
Okay, for $2,500, $1,000 in pain and suffering, and $1,500 in work and travel fees, because according to you, they lost some pictures in a camera that were very meaningful to you. You have a counterclaim against them for the exact same amount for aggravating you. Okay, both of you aggravate me now. What's going on?
I understand, officer. I understand. What happened was I gave him a disposable camera to develop some pictures that were personal of mine. And he told me to come back 7 days later. In fact, he was going to call me on the 7th day.
Tell me about the disposable camera. What were on the pictures?
They were the pictures of my deceased grandmother. It was actually a party that we had, the last party that she attended, and she passed away a year later.
And so, they were from when?
97.
Where had the camera been from 97 to 2000?
My mother's storage. It was in my mother's storage.
And she had never developed it?
No, because she's been moving from house to house. And so
since 97? So for 21 years it's been in storage?
She's been moved. Well, we had a...
So you found it. And how did anybody know what was on the camera?
We remember what that picture, around that time, we were trying to get rid of the disposable.
How would you know what the time was? If it was 21, 22 years ago, how would you know what was on the camera?
We just remember we were using that. We remember using that.
You remember 21 years ago using a disposable camera, and you remember exactly what you photographed.
It wasn't exactly just my grandmother.
Okay.
We know that among other pictures, we know that was one of the events that camera was at. I guess you could say we assumed that was
well, here's why that concerns me. Because your position is he's just trying to make a buck off you.
Yes,
right?
Yes, it is.
Okay. Did he leave a disposable camera with you?
No, he did not.
What makes you so sure that he did not?
I saw the receipt, and there's no description, there's no stamp, and I was told something else. There was a professional model's photo on there, which cost a lot. And I was like...
That's what he told you when...
Yes.
Okay, when he came to complain.
Yes.
First of all, do you have the receipt? You have the receipt, right?
I have the receipt.
Yep, can I see it?
Thank you. Thank you. Mm-hmm.
Is this the receipt he showed you?
There's a receipt from my photo lab.
That's a receipt from your photo lab. Did you see a different receipt the day he talked to you?
Not sure.
You're not sure. Okay, because in your answer to the complaint you said it didn't have your stamp.
Yes.
That one has your stamp.
Yes, it is my receipt.
Okay.
The other receipt, the one...
When did you bring it to his photo lab?
In September.
Okay. There's a number on here. If I give you a moment, would you be able to find out what date?
No, I won't be able to find out.
You wouldn't be able to?
No.
Okay, so it doesn't operate that way. So why were you so sure in the answer to the complaint that there was no stamp?
Yeah, the receipt which was shown to me didn't have no stamp. I don't know what is this receipt. This looks like a new receipt, which is not
Well, that's
old.
why I'm asking if you can tell from the number or not really.
No, not really.
You can't?
No, not really.
Okay.
And people bring those films, but not that old, from 5 years, 7 years, and they are wondering, oh, I'm so excited.
Right.
What's in there? I hope
Right.
it's a good surprise.
I'd be nervous.
Yeah,
but I mean,
exactly.
yeah.
People have been telling me exactly, and I'm wondering how good that is. Exactly what happens. People are very excited to see their old photos. They don't know what is on there.
So what did he tell you? There's what?
And
First
it
of all,
is-
how did it happen? He comes in one day. Were you there?
Yes, I was there.
Okay, and what happened?
And I saw the receipt without any description on it, and I'm like,
Wait, where's the receipt without any description on it? Is that this?
I don't think, because the receipt he showed me at that time was no stamp. There was no stamp on it. No photo.
So you think he showed you a different receipt?
I believe
And that this is like some recent
That's what I
drop-off.
said, that it don't have no.
I never got a chance to show him the receipt. I was gonna go to the car and grab it, but he never let me get it. He just dismissed and said I'd never dropped the camera off.
No.
But he has such a specific defense that he's
No.
always maintained, which is, you have a receipt that doesn't have our stamp on it, that's not from our, so it was so specific. But anyway, go ahead. What's your recollection?
And he came to the shop and said, and there's no description, because there are a lot of different things we do, and we file it on the place, so find it right away. And I'm like, what did you drop off? And he goes like, what was the last person asked for? I said, he had a CD. Okay, he goes like, I have a CD too. I said, from what? From a memory card or a film? He goes like, from a film. Okay, so, but he doesn't say anything, and there's no stamp. And I'm surprised, so still, I don't know, so I was like, okay, let's look for it. I started looking for it. I made a copy. I asked him to give me a couple of days.
Wait, you made a copy of what?
Receipt.
Then let me see it.
He came after 2 months. And
No. Do you have the copy
No,
that you
I don't
made?
have the
That's
copy.
that's my
No, I don't
question.
have- no, I don't
Why
have a
wouldn't
copy.
you keep it? What's the point of making the copy?
It's been like 2 months, because
Okay.
I have to look for the number.
Okay.
And
that would be helpful, though. I would have loved to have
Exactly.
seen if that's different from this. But go ahead.
I looked everywhere.
Okay.
Everywhere, the places I'm not supposed to look for, but of course I want his film to be found, but there was no film. There was
Okay.
no film.
So who is responsible for keeping records in a case like this? The customer or the business person?
Ideally, everyone does what's right.
But sometimes nobody does. So who's responsible?
Both. We have to keep record.
If one has to be primarily responsible, who?
The customer.
Really?
Yes, it is their importance to keep their records. It is their grandfather.
Grandmother, please.
Grandmother.
God, rest in peace, man.
R.I.P.
Going inside the courtroom.
How many months passed before he filed a lawsuit against you?
3 months.
Okay. So now let me ask you a question. So first of all, why are you counterclaiming against him $2,500 for aggravation?
For like coming in the shop, making noise, making everything like a big commotion, coming in the counter, taking the photos without permission. I didn't say nothing. Okay, let him do it. He's want to take the photos of the consumer affair certificate and stuff. Okay, I let him do it. But he was loud and very disrespectful in front of other customers.
Okay.
And today, I'm supposed to be at the shop today doing my business.
Did you have to close the shop? Are you a
Yes.
solo act? All right.
Yes.
Let me talk to you. Why would you be entitled to $2,500?
That's what I was gonna explain. He did for a whole 2 months. He said that he misplaced them, and I was trying to get in contact with him on the phone to let him know. Oh, did you find the pictures? He said no. I was working in Brooklyn at that time, where his shop is at, to get those pictures developed. I couldn't. After September, I had left and started working in Pennsylvania. After calling him numerous times, he stopped answering my phone call. I had to travel down from Pennsylvania to come to his shop because he stopped answering his phone call.
Did you tell him they were model pictures?
No, I don't even know. I don't even know exactly what model pictures are. I don't take model pictures. I just said it was family pictures that I had on that camera, because I remember us having it at specific events where we had that disposable camera. We were trying to get rid of the.
How valuable can they be if they got lost for 21 years and nobody even knows what's on them? Let me tell you what the law is.
yeah.
You know, there's emotional value that we place on stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And I do have some difficulty with you maintaining that those are the photos of the last time my grandma was there, because I think you're hamming it up. But let's assume that no matter what, any family photos are valuable to you, okay? Especially old ones, like what this would be.
Nobody uses.
I'm in the middle of a sentence.
Sorry.
Did I breathe and give you the impression I was done?
Sorry.
Okay. The law on this issue is very, very specific.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? What's the law on this issue? Because I imagine you've been dealing with this your whole life. How long have you been in this business?
17 years.
Okay, so what is the law on this issue?
We are supposed to give him the exact value of the camera or the film or the
The
card.
camera or the film?
And the developing.
And any developing costs? Did you pay any developing costs or no? Because that's paid at the point of pickup.
And 7 days, I don't take 7 days to develop any kind of film.
Okay, I didn't. Okay, I'm going to assume, for the purposes of this discussion, that he dropped off a disposable camera. I'm going to assume that because he has a little receipt here. Because when I ask you, wait, is this the receipt? And there's a number, you don't really have a system of figuring out if this is old or this is new and disproving him. Because according to you, you took a copy of his original receipt that he showed you, but you didn't keep it, and that would be a way of disproving it. So basically, I have uncontradicted testimony, because you can't disprove it because of the way your business records are, that he dropped off film, okay? The problem you have is that you want $2,500 for it, and you don't get that. The most you get, in the eyes of the law, is the cost of the disposable camera. So on your lawsuit against him for aggravation, you would have been able to prove to me that he's a scam artist if you had any of the business records I'm talking about. If you kept, maybe it's just too much trouble to do it. You don't need to do it, so I'm not faulting you as a business practice. But if you kept the numbers by the dates or something and could show me that, or if you'd kept that copy of that receipt, then you would be able to show me he's a scammer. You're entitled to $2,500 for aggravation. You're not able to show me that. So you're not entitled to $2,500 for aggravation. And with this, you are able to show me that you dropped something off. So I'm going to find you dropped off that camera. The problem you have is I'm also going to award you $12.99 because that's what that stuff costs, okay? $12.99 verdict for the plaintiff. And let me explain to you why the law is like that. Because can you imagine if we put courts in the business of deciding how valuable each person's pictures are to them? It's not a measurable amount. That's why we don't do it, okay?
So the plaintiff prevails, but just for a small amount of $12 is not $2,500. But you got a good education in the law from the judge.
Right.
What are you thinking?
It sucks, but you live and you learn. You know what I mean?
I mean, there's, as the judge said, there's no way to put value on pictures.
Yeah.
It's really impossible.
Right.
They're valuable to you, but
According is not a value to nobody else. So.
yeah. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Sorry. Okay. It was a good try, though.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you very much. All right. Frank, does this kind of thing happen very often?
No, it don't
People
happen.
come in and you haven't?
No, it never. It happened once in a blue moon.
Once in a blue moon?
But we found the stuff.
But you're convinced he didn't drop that camera off, right?
There should be a law about the aggravation what he created me.
Okay. Well, sorry, you don't win your countersuit either, okay? Good try. Thank you very much. Okay, Harvey, what do you think?
Well, I mean, this is a double whammy. You don't get pain and suffering for breach of contract, and you can't get the value for lost memories. It's just not tangible.